First, giving honor to the man um, who gives me strength day by day, night by night, minute by minute, second by second, who was crucified but resurrected on the third day. Um, for the past couple of years, I would say I've been under construction. It's one atrocity that is has changed my life. Um, my sister, that I dearly do miss, she came up with this wonderful book. People can see that it's her, actually her. And when you buy it, um, you can see you can see her vision that she put out to the atmosphere. But I want to talk to somebody about this topic, this specific topic. I want to get to my promised land. I want to get to my promised land. Now we see that we all have suffered at the hands of the enemy. The enemy is a spirit of hate, judgment, lust, and a hellhole in a basket. When I sit here and I examine the enemy, the enemy can, the enemy has a plan to stop the peace of God's children. So the enemy, he is a spirit of hatred, judgment, plotfulness, spitefulness, anger, hatefulness. The enemy can be any type of spirit that is not premeditated by God. But I think about some people that have wrongly persecuted me for my innocence. Um, we all preach justice and conviction, but we don't convict everybody. There's some of we're in a march for police brutality, and we talk about justice. Justice. I believe my devoted sister who lays in the heavenly gardens of heaven. She needs justice. You know, this is one person that honestly didn't do wrong. If you needed help, she always had your back. If you needed guidance, if you needed support, if you just felt like you couldn't take it no more, she always had my back. And at this point in life right now, I need my sister right now. How many times I've faced the depths of hell, how many times I've faced my thoughts, and the only person that can actually sit with me and that I trusted was my sister. But I still want to preach on of need to get to my promised land. We're living in a time of distress. We're living in a time of anger. we're living in a time that no man or woman or child feels safe. You know, it's like you take a kid, right, to a toy, toy store, and you tell that child you can get any type of toy you want, no matter the price or nothing. You could get any toy, and that child runs down, and he gets this Power Ranger, and he falls in love with this Power Ranger. He doesn't want the Power Ranger to leave his side. That one day, the the boy comes, and he gets a phone call saying that his toy is no longer in a piece. His toy is broken up. I thought about that analogy today. It's like when I got that call, she wasn't like an object. She was just somebody that I knew I had. I didn't never second guessed it. I never needed to second guess it. It's just somebody I always had. You see, I preach the doctrine of loyalty, right? Because we're a family. Like we're all a family. Like we should be sticking together. It shouldn't be animosity between us. It shouldn't be anger between us. It shouldn't be we're going to misunderstand because no man or woman agrees on everything. But it's like we're a family. We're a nation. We should stick together. No matter what, we shall always remain together. Because we are dying left to right. You got people killing each other. You got white folks killing us. You got blacks killing blacks. You got Spanish killing blacks. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can focus on the outside, but I need to focus on the inside as well. And it's just hard because it's like I think about just everything. Like I think about just why would God take her from me? I was like, if you see that I have nobody left, but you took the one person that has poured love and peace into my body. It's like sometimes I don't even feel like living. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, I don't think anybody will care because most people don't care about you when you're alive. Everybody wants to care for you when you're dead. Nobody wants to show support when you're alive, when you're living, when you're breathing, when you're happy. But they want to show support when you're dead. And I thought about that and I was just thinking to myself, I said, this can't be the promised land. And I watched MLK's last message. He said, I seen the mountaintop. And for the past couple years, I just see this beautiful Golden Gate. My sister was up there, my father was up there. And on whom that I've crossed paths for these 21 years, it's like, I'm not afraid no more. It is what it is. It's like, I don't want to live on an earth that nobody cares about your well-being. See, giving honor to the amazing and beautiful and magnificent queen of my life, we was talking about just life. And I told her, I said, if I had a child, if we had a kid, right? If we had a kid, and that child, like we had two kids, one was younger and one was older, and the one child studies the younger child. Like that older child watches the younger child he's a prey in the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? So it's always been. It hasn't always been eye to eye. It's always been you watch me, but I judge you. But in my eyes, it's been, I was robbed. I'm still being robbed. I'm robbed of my best friend that was taken from me. She wasn't just my older sister. She was like a mother to me. She was my best friend. And I hold I, I I I held anger in it. I held frustration. I held like just this pure evil. I held that in, but I'm scared that one day it's eventually gonna come out. I was robbed, but I don't know, y'all. It's just I was actually robbed to say goodbye to the one person who actually gave a damn about me. It's like I can be a parent right now, and my two kids can be beside me with my wife on the side, and my child can speak up, say, "Father, I don't have much, but use me as you will. Father, I just call on you just to give me some hope, some peace. I'm going through a lot, Dad. I just need you." See, those little words of encouragement can plant a whole nation. I need you. You know what I'm saying? But it's like so many times I've called out for help and I was rightfully ignored. You know? And now I understand what my sister was talking about. Why cry out to fools that's just gonna keep ignoring you? Why cry out to those who don't really care for you? This can't be the promised land. This earth is filled with hate, judgment, spitefulness, enviness, and anger. But I prayed nice and hard to God Himself that He would take away this anger out my heart. Because deep down, I miss her so much. And the only thing I wanted to say was goodbye. I wanted to sit there and speak to her one last time. But that was taken from me. Like, y'all have to understand, if y'all have like any siblings, a sibling that you couldn't be raised with, and y'all just kept coming in and out of each other's life. And that one day you get a call talking about she's gone. Like, in my spirit, that hurts me so freaking much still. Like, I try to get over it. I try to look at the brighter side, but there's no brighter side. The one person who actually fought for me, one person who stood up for me, the one person who cried out for me, the one person who loved me, the one person who trusted me, the one person who gave me hope in this dangerous storm. It was robbed from me. You know what I'm saying? But I lay here every night and I just think about where she's at. You know, I say I want to fight so bad to act like I'm happy, but I'm actually not. And there's some people out there who's making a mockery of her. But this is one person that I put my life on the line. She always had good intentions. She always showed love. She always showed peace. She always showed joy. It's like this one day, I was so broken. I called her at 6 o'clock and no, we started on the phone till 6. And I told her one day, I said, I know we all had a bad past. You know what I'm saying? Like none of us had a perfect life. But I told her, I said, I'm thankful that I'm with you. You know, that was just it's us being us. But I never knew that day was gonna come. You know what I'm saying? It's like my mind and soul is confused. You know, I couldn't even. I wasn't even invited to the funeral because of some fake, 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 fake people that had to make up a scheme so I couldn't say my last words to her. My heart aches and pains because I was the only one I had to lean on. Now I walk through the paradise in the valley of shadow of death. I wish I could say I would fear no evil, but I'm actually terrified. That when you can go through life, everybody you latch on to, it's not permanently in your life. I've started to realize the doctrine does teach us that no man knows the day of the hour. But I pray if it's God's will, He will allow me to go to the paradise of life. To sit beside my sister in unity and my father. My prayers is that I can look down all this pain and scars is gone, and I can finally feel renewed. I pray one day that God can see fit to forgive me, because my prayers is that I just want to make it to the promised land. I just want to look my sister in the eye one more time and just give her one tight hug. There's so much power behind somebody's guilt. But I remember the Bible was telling me that vengeance ain't mine. You might have anger towards some people, but vengeance don't belong to you. People ought to be glad that God has spoken to my spirit. I've changed, but the pain has not changed. I worry and I stress because the one friend I had is no longer with me. I do miss the smile, the laugh, the love that she gave to my dead spirit. But I was robbed of my best friend. Her death has caused me to realize that life is short. You gotta make life what you can of it. Because for who deals with suicide and anxiety and depression, that is a bad couple elements that you should not mix together. My sister has taught me that through all, live life. I cried out to my sister one night out of fear that I was gonna go real soon. She latched onto me and gave me some hope and said greater things will be here. You just gotta boss up. I never knew the words she gave me was the last words that she will ever give me on this side of life. My sister, she was an amazing girl, y'all. My best friend for life. My right hand for life. Whitney's promised land. I wish God would just show me a glimpse of where she's at. Cause I just want to just rejoicing with her and not leave her and never leave her side. I hold a couple people accountable though, cause I could have stepped down there and said my last goodbyes, but I was robbed. But as I declare through the dangerous trials and tribulations of this storm, I usually will say this too will pass. But I believe that it's all just getting started. But you have to understand this. For whom's guilt overflows is whose guilt you will have to face. She didn't deserve none of this. But I still declare justice for Whitney. Justice for Whitney. That is my prayers, that there will be justice. Because I sit back and I think about the many times she's helped me out. I've helped her out a little bit, but I couldn't do that. I wish I could have done more. But always remember this. Your guilt is not unnoticed. If you understand Galatians 6, 7 through 9, it says, you will reap what you sow. I looked at her book for a good couple days and haven't took my eyes off it. And I know it has to be a purpose beyond this. I don't know if God's trying to send me a message or what he's trying to let me see. But I pray that she gets justice for all the kids around this earth who suffers at the hands of the enemy. You guys deserve justice. No child should have to feel like they have to go out on their own. I hold the parents and all whom has a hand in the decimation of this angel. Your guilt you will have to face one day down the line. But I say peace and love to the angel, the kingdom of heaven. And it's like we sit and we think about it, and we think about how sad and toxic it actually is. We think about how when you sit back like that little boy and his father told him, your toy is not put together, your toy is dismembered. I'm sorry, your toy's broke, you can never get it back. The child looks at his father with tears coming down his face. He said, Father, I just wanted to have my toy for life. Father says to the son, you will see your toy someday. To give the boy some hope. The boy walked past the broken toy, was upset for years. Years. Then the boy finally found some peace. He found some peace with the pain. He found some peace with his heartache. He found some peace with the storm. I declare justice for all the kids that were broken up. I declare justice for all the kids who have to suffer with anxiety. I declare justice for all the kids who have to suffer with depression. I declare injustice for justice for for all the kids who have to deal with suicide thoughts by themselves. Each kid who suffers alone needs love. Many people think that this is not real. But yo, your anxiety is not real. Your depression is not real. Your suicide is not real. That's just your guilt. That's your guilt talking to you. You are guilty of the crime that you committed. Now you're trying to run from it. But eventually that guilt catches up to you. That guilt's gonna look you in the face and you ain't gonna be able to take it no more. She didn't deserve that. She never deserved that. This girl should still be alive, writing books. She should still be alive, getting degrees. She should still be alive, smiling and happy and helping people out. But we are robbed. We were robbed. You know, I'm very proud of her. This beautiful book that she came up with. This is my second copy. The first copy, I don't want to get into it, but this is my copy and I have it safe, so I keep it in my safe. And this is my prized possession right here. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I miss her so much. But I know one day I'm going to see her in the promised land. And when I see her, I want to just hug her and never let her go. We need justice for the kids who have to suffer by themselves. We need justice for the kids who are alone, being plotted, being abused, being accused. We need justice. Because my Father in heaven knows that she did not deserve to go out like she did. She should still be alive, making YouTube videos, working, going to school. But people's guilt is the reason why I don't have my sister no more. And I sit back and I think about, how can you smile? How can you go to work? How can you do this? How can you do that? How can you do anything knowing that your guilt is in vain? I don't understand. How can you? If I had a hand in something this powerful, I wouldn't be able to live. This is one person that had to face her own black Holocaust. They made the suffering in vain for no reason. And people just walk around, they smiling, happy, joyful, in church, at work. How can you live life knowing that there's an innocent soul 6 feet under? I don't understand, y'all. But this travels with me. It travels with me. I just pray that God can remove this anxiety and depression and these thoughts of mine. Because right at this point, who wants to live on an earth with so much evil people who don't care about each other. They see kids suffering, dying left and right because of suicide and anxiety and depression, but people just don't care. You can call somebody up if you have somebody that you actually trust, and if you can call them up and tell them that you're having suicidal thoughts or you're battling with anxiety, depression, and they actually help you, you need to get on your knees and thank God for them, because you cannot find that many good people on this earth. I've suffered with anxiety and depression since I found out the story of my parents, and I still battle with it. But what made it worse is knowing that she would never be here again. Justice needs to be served to the ungodly. I don't understand how you can proclaim happiness knowing that you're triumphed over your own ego. If I could say one thing to the guilt and shame of humanity, I will say this. Galatians 6:7-9. You will reap what you sow. Nobody can avoid their consequences. If you do something to somebody, no matter how lethal it is, it's eventually going to have to happen to you. Justice needs to be served. This is an innocent, godly woman that had the intentions just to love and protect. But the enemy had to step in and ruin it. The enemy seen this girl doing good. The enemy seen this girl happy. The enemy seen this girl. But see, the one thing about it is, she posted a video, right? And in this video, you have to actually listen to what she was saying. And she was pretty much telling me something that I've been searching for since I got that call. You know, and many people have vouched on it. But I just pray that God will give me hope and peace and strength to deal with the mourn. Justice needs to be served. It doesn't feel right living on the earth without her. It doesn't feel right going home without her. It doesn't feel right when I'm going through so much I have to be alone because I don't have her no more. I pray that God will allow me to go to the promised land and be with my sister until the end of time. I do miss her so much, y'all. It's like somebody taking a bullet and just shooting me over and over again. That bullet can't be removed. That bullet's just sitting in my heart. The doctor keeps trying to remove the bullet, but the bullet is still in my heart. My God. Keep me in your prayers, y'all, please.